WQKL, Ann Arbor's 107.1, a Cumulus media station.
And on the cool check-in, center stage on the mic, and we putting it on wax. It's the news. It's the news.
This is Treetown Sound with Matthew Altruda on Ann Arbor's 107.1.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I probably have the most epic Treetown sound today of all time, and I'm going to be lost for words multiple times on the show, and I know what you're thinking right now. That's probably not possible. But I have Josh Epstein from JRJR live in studio, and Ross Federman from Tally Hall live in studio. Probably the two most played bands on this show. I mean, honorable mention to Wolfpack as always, but this is Josh's first time in studio, and JRJR is one of my most favorite bands of all times, and Invocations and Conversations, as Ross would say, is in my top 5 albums, my number 1 album of the last 5 years. Josh and Ross, both your mics will be on this whole show. You can feel free to interrupt me at any time. You can interrupt each other. And if any one time, Ross, if you want me to shut off Josh's mic for talking trash about your band, you can let me know.
So I get mic turn off privileges?
Yes. Yeah. Josh will get those too. Welcome to Treetown Sound.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Josh, how have you never been on the show before?
Well, I think I have lived in Los Angeles for so long.
It's literally, how long? 7 years?
I think it's longer than that.
Wow.
I think it's like 10 years.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. And Ross lives in Massachusetts now, and you're in town for your 4 nights of sold-out shows at Loving Touch this week?
It's three
It's
nights.
3 nights. It should have been 4.
Should have been 4. Yeah, we should have done 4.
And it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it's a different kind of show, so I'm nervous.
What are you nervous about?
Well, it's not, so it's just the two of us, Daniel and I, and there's a PowerPoint presentation. And it's more of like a storytelling thing.
Comedy driven?
I mean, there's stuff that's funny.
Yeah, it's true. You cannot not be funny on stage.
Well, there's some stuff that's funny. Jenna's friend, actually, who's a comic, gave me really good advice. He said, make sure that whatever the saddest parts of the story are the most funny. Otherwise, it's going to bum everyone out.
Nice. So you're saying my life's a comedy?
I don't know. I think your life's pretty perfect.
Nice. Well, thank you. So that's coming up. Is there going to be a release with this music? Because this music is going to be unique, right?
So no, we're doing. It's like a telling the story of our whole career. So it's kind of chronological. There's songs from every album, and then we end with some new stuff, which we're hoping to put out very soon.
Yeah, right. Do you believe that, Ross?
I mean,
how long have we heard about this new JRJR album coming out?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Probably not as long as we've been trying to talk about a new Tally Hall record coming out on the show.
Yeah, good point.
There are things that happened that are not in our control.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been out already.
Okay, that's a great way of putting it. Is it going to be an independent release?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay, so there's some moving parts behind the scenes.
There's moving parts, and there was a label that was putting it out, and then the week that we signed the deal, everyone at the label got fired.
Sound familiar, Ross?
Yeah, that sounds like the first chapter of every book on the music industry.
Yeah. Well, this is like at the end of our story, though, which is crazy. Yeah, it's like it happened again.
Oh my God! Yeah, because you had to fall out with Warner too.
We had 3 presidents at Warner while we were there.
Oh my God. Well, what does that tell you at the end of the day? Do everything you can to release independent music?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but that's hard too.
Yeah, welcome to the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. And Ross from Tally Hall, producer of Miracle Musical, on the show today. We're going to start off the show with some Tally Hall music, but I need to get the cat out of the bag soon, Ross. We just have to go there with your July 7th announcement that literally no Tally Hall fan on earth found on the internet, and it's there.
Yeah, it's a little and some automatic thing tweeted it, and we didn't bother retweeting it, and I don't think anybody spotted it.
So for those keeping score at home, Tally Hall on July 7th got credited from the Recording Industry Association of America with 2 gold records. Or 2 gold singles.
2 gold single records.
And what were those songs, Ross?
Hidden in the Sand and The Bidding.
And why did they go gold?
They got a lot of streams thanks to TikTok. Well,
No.
and all our listeners who found
Yeah.
us and spread music after that and kept listening.
So if you're listening right now, thank you for supporting that. So you're going to get a gold record.
If I order one, yeah.
You're going to order a gold record.
I'm probably going to order one.
100%.
Yeah.
That's really incredible.
Something I never thought would happen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Or ever.
Not really ever.
Did you ever once think like, yeah, I'm going to have a gold record?
Well, maybe when we really first started and we are like,
Yeah.
yeah, we signed to Atlantic Records. But I mean, then every moment that passed after that for a while, it seemed less and less likely.
True.
Can I interrupt and just tell?
Yes.
This is like tangential, but now when you go to like producers and writers' houses in LA and you're working in their studios, they have, instead of gold records, they have their Spotify artist
Yeah.
profile and like 4.3 billion
Yeah.
streams, which is so lame to me.
Yeah, I
So
agree. They
lame.
do. You can get plaques for just Spotify streams.
Yeah.
and I think like I don't know yeah, there's something about the gold. And the thing is, like, we didn't sell 500,000 singles.
Yeah.
We didn't sell 500. Like, no one downloaded it. They have like a streaming equivalent.
Totally.
Yeah.
So could I go there and order a plaque for someone that says like 14 streams?
They might have some threshold. I don't know.
Okay, just want to make sure. And also, we need to clear the air with this, because for years on the radio I've been screwing this up with Josh being related to Rob Cantor, because the bands are intertwined with Junior Junior and Tally Hall. I mean, the Silent Years, Josh's early band, played with Tally Hall. You recall a very nice show in Chicago. So Josh, for the Treetown Sound audience and for me to get this right once and for all, how are you related to Rob Cantor from Tally Hall?
Okay, Rob and I were trying to figure this out recently. He's my second cousin,
Okay.
once removed.
Okay.
So
I'm still confused.
Okay.
Wait,
So-
I thought removed was like a generational change.
yeah, okay, so Rob's grandpa is my grandma's brother. So
Got it.
Rob's dad and my dad are first cousins.
Got it. All right.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
so very closely related.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Well,
re-
I mean, not very closely, but we did do like we did family holidays with them.
And you still keep in touch with him, obviously.
I still keep in touch with him.
Have you talked about doing music with him?
I'm hoping that he'll have me do some of his music. It's very lucrative. I'm finding out.
I want Ross to produce a song with you. That's all I want.
That'd be great. Yeah, I would love to.
And not a comedy special. Just straight up good old fashioned ripping R&R. All right. Why are you nodding your head like that?
What?
You don't want to work with Josh,
No, of
do
course
you?
I want.
You're
I've told you
anti-
that for years.
I know Ross was gushing. Ross originally set this up so Josh would come in studio and surprise me, but he caved because he wanted me to be prepared because he knows how big of a Junior fan I am. That's Lenny coughing.
Yeah. Also, I did have to bring my entire family. So I have Potato and my baby and my wife Jenna is here.
I'll tell you, this is the most well-behaved child that's ever been on this radio show.
Really?
And I'm even including...
That includes Ira.
Yeah, it definitely includes Ira. All right, so we're going to do a song real quick. I didn't pick any of the songs that went gold. I probably should have.
No, it's fine.
But I didn't want to.
Clearly, they've been streamed enough.
I
Let's
asked
make
Ro-
another one gold. Come on.
Let's make it. I asked Ross what he thought about Anne and if it's a good song for me to play, and he said yes. But is there anything you want to set up for this song?
I don't know. It's a solid choice.
All right, solid choice. We're going back to Good and Evil, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm just testing Ross to see if he's keeping up. This is Tally Hall with Anne. I got Ross Federman, drummer from Tally Hall, and Josh Epstein, the lead singer, guitarist, and one of the masterminds with Daniel Zott of Junior, live in studio. That is Tally Hall with Anne. Many confuse it with ampersand, but it is actually called Anne off the Good and Evil album from 2011, which was interesting. We went to this song. Josh said that Good and Evil was one of his favorites from Tally Hall. Would you say that's your favorite Tally Hall album?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Flip a coin. We had two.
No, but I mean, the people are passionate about it. Thanks, Ross.
but I think the place that I was in as an artist when the first Tally Hall album came out, some of it I always thought was like I just didn't get it. It felt like a little bit too like joyful or too like too like saccharine to me. A couple
Yeah.
of the songs. You
I
know?
mean, I
like
remem-
Banana Man specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I even remember meeting with who became our manager, and he was like, and it's an uphill battle, guys. People don't like happy music in indie bands. It's just
Right.
like everyone's looking for something a little more down. This is like, yeah.
But then Good and Evil was, I mean, it's a serious album, you know? And the production's amazing. Was it Tony Hoffer that did
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, we lived in Brooklyn for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Before that, like we kind of like got out of college and was like, oh, this is real life.
I thought you
And
recorded that in L.A.
we did record it in LA.
Okay.
But it's after we were living in New York.
Very, very cool. I love having you both in studio because I really just want you both to just talk about each other's music the most. Because Ross, you're one of the biggest Junior fans I've ever met.
Yeah, I am. I like your double album. Favorite of mine the last 5 years.
Invocations
Easy.
and Conversations.
I kept joking, and that's like, yeah, they're gonna have another record out, and I just said, great, I need a new favorite record.
Right? I mean, really, the reality is I would put Invocations and Conversations probably in my top 25 favorite albums all time. Sorry, Brittany.
Wow, thank you. That's
It really just
high
speaks-
praise. And we've, you know, it's your support has meant a lot to us over the years. So we always feel indebted to you.
Well, it's literally, you could be mean and I'd still play you. Like, the music is so good. I can't even begin to tell you. And like, I have a long history with Junior. I've booked every single one of your shows in this city ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, every single time, because I'm a fan. I try every year. I mean, even this year I tried. I was like, I don't care. He's got a baby. It's like, he's got a wife. Bring her and the dog. We'll do this.
Speaking of which, I gotta say hi to my wife.
Oh, yeah,
and
shout
my
out.
baby. Hi Ashley. Hi Ira. Ira, I miss you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Ira.
Hope you're having a good night, buddy.
I love Ira. All right, so I got a question for you, Ross, because I saw this tweet from U2's, which is YOUTOOZ. This is a plushie company. And Josh, if you don't know what that is, they make little dolls of different famous things and they sell them on the internet. There's usually complete sets. They sent out a bunch of ties and alluded to your whole fan base that they were making Tally Hall plushies. The band had no response. The band didn't tweet anything, didn't post anything. There was nothing to be seen. There was no comments. Are you familiar with this tweet?
Yeah, I've seen them teasing
You have.
plushies. with-
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there been any discussions about maybe doing a plushie?
I would say if I were curious whether that's real or not, I'd probably stay tuned and see if there's an announcement on the way.
Okay, so if I said to you, true, false, or pass, Tally Hall will have plushies coming out, how would you answer that question?
Again, I'd say it looks pretty likely based on what I've been seeing tweeted out. So I'd probably
right.
just kind of stay tuned and see what's
So
happening there.
if they are confirmed and they are coming out, you can just look to Tally Hall's social media and website to the release date and all of that.
Yeah, if that type of thing comes out, I think, and it's actually for sale at that time, I'm sure there will be an announcement and some word that gets out.
I'm going to put my life savings just into Ross dolls, and I'm going to have like control of them, and I'm going to be like a Ross plushie whale where people are like, I can't get the full set. They'll be like, Treetown set has 15,000 of them, and I'm going to sell them for thousands of dollars.
And I don't think they're limited. Like I think I think they keep the sales window open, and like as many orders as they get, that's how many they make, and then they're just done after that. So you could buy an exorbitant amount of them.
You do a lot of research on U2s?
Apparently, I may
Josh,
have looked
did you
at a
know
contract.
that?
No, but I'll get a lot of Andrews, and I'm sure Ross.
I'm going to be. Mine will sell the least. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what the breakdown is if this does come out and there is an announcement.
All right. Well, I'm going to buy a lot of them just to keep your sales up, Ross. I think you're mistaken. I think you're one of the fan base's favorites.
I think that's only because I come on this show and people listen to it.
No, it's just for who you are, not to quote a Rob Cantor song. But we all know that's about you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. All right, we're gonna do another song right now from Junior. And Josh, like, Gone went crazy viral. It was in the YouTube Red commercial. It had extreme radio station hits. If You Didn't See Me was your second single on that album, right?
No.
No.
If you didn't see me, was the first single
And the next album.
from the album before. Speed of Things.
That's
before?
right.
Oh,
See, I didn't do my notes for this show.
I was way off. Sorry.
Yeah, we talk about this in our new show actually. Yeah, that single underperformed so much that we didn't get another single on the album, and then we wrote James Dean right after that album came out, and it went viral on Spotify.
Yep.
but Spotify was new, and so we said to Warner, like, there's something going on here. You should really push this. And their response was, well, Spotify is not really a thing.
Oh my God. And if you didn't see me, like 1071 played it.
Yeah.
And besides me, it definitely had some commercial success, but it's an absolute banger. Was it just like the name was too long?
I don't know. I have, so the song was initially written without lyrics in the chorus, and I prefer it that way. Mm-hmm. But Warner didn't think that people would get a song that didn't have lyrics in the chorus. This is like 3 months before the M83 song Midnight City came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you perform it now live, do you revert to the original version?
No, that would be cheating.
That'd be cheating. You love cheating.
Never.
Okay. I know you don't cheat. Ross cheats.
At what?
I don't know. You have to cheat at something.
No.
Your diet. You're not a diet. You cut your hair. You cheated your hair.
Ashley cut my hair.
Did you really?
She did.
No way.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
She started doing it during the pandemic, and I won't let her. It's really, she does an amazing job, and I give her way too hard of a time about it while we're doing it because she's not a perfect. She can't do it in like the 20 minutes you'd get your hair cut, normally. So I'm sitting there for 2 hours. It always ends up great.
Who cleans up the hair afterwards?
I think I've been doing that primarily.
Good work, Ross.
I mean, but there's probably still hair on our kitchen floor. You can't get it all.
Yeah, true. Good point. All right, we're going to rock it. This is from the Speed of Things. Junior, one of my absolute favorites. Total banger. This is If You Didn't See Me, Then You Weren't on the Dance Floor. Just an absolute banger. And you know what? I didn't dance during that song, and sometimes I dance to it during the studio, but I'm not trying to be out of breath here on this radio show. That is Junior with If You Didn't See Me, Then You Weren't on the Dance Floor. I have Josh Epstein, lead singer, curator of the Junior, formerly Dale Earnhardt Jr. We're not going to get into that story. If you want to know more, then go to the Wikipedia. Also, Ross Federman, drummer from Tally Hall, is in studio. This whole show, I'm going to have both of them in studio. We're going to dive deep into some other stuff too. But before we do that, got to give a shout out to my sponsors. As always, Bank of Ann Arbor and Sonic Lunch. This Thursday for Sonic Lunch is The Husbands. Think Landlocked, Surf Rock. We got them. The weekend they're playing Lollapalooza. Opening up for them is Katie Stanley. Also, a shout out to my sponsor, Orion Automotive Services. They've been loving cars since 1994, providing automobile maintenance and repair services for European, domestic, and Asian vehicles. You obviously made a big investment on your car. You have to take care of it. Right, Ross? What do we say about Rich?
That if you're having car problems, I feel bad for you, son. Got 99 problems, but Rich ain't one.
That is right. Rich is not a problem. Go see Rich at Orion, conveniently located on Parkland Plaza across the street from the BMW dealership on Jackson Road. OrionA2.com. We come back from this break. We're going to play a personally selected song from Miracle Musical by...
Wait, I got to chime in here real quick.
What?
I hate to do this to you. Do you know that that bit has kind of been taken from... I know you've been doing... Everyone knows that listens that you've been doing that for like a decade.
Someone took that from me?
I think it's like DraftKings or something. There's some major ad campaign that is like, I got 99 problems, but sports ain't one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to go to war with them Rally Hall crew. No, let's not. Let's stay away from DraftKings. Don't even go to their website.
They're too big.
Yeah, they're too big. We don't like them, but that's really interesting. So we come back from this break, we're going to be hearing a song that Ross picked off of Miracle Musical Hawaii Part 2. I can say that. You did pick this song for me to play.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a fact. All right, more after this on Treetown Sound Ann Arbor's 107.1. Kind of the song that doesn't fit on the album because it never was on the album. That is Variations on a Cloud by Miracle Musical off the Hawaii Part 2 album, which was a side project of Tally Hall with Joe Hawley and Bora and Ross Federman, who is right in front of me. Ross, can you tell me why Variations on a Cloud was never put on Hawaii Part 2?
I think maybe only Joe would know the real answer to that.
But when you recorded it and produced it and you saw the album for Hawaii Part 2, were you like, why isn't the song on it?
No, I think Joe kind of presented it as kind of a standalone thing that we would release before the rest of the record. and that felt right to me. I had no reason to question that.
It was released before the album.
It was, yeah. I believe. I'm pretty sure we dropped that like maybe a month before the record came out.
It's hard to tell because the album always disappears off Spotify every 12 years or 4 years.
It does?
I think so.
Okay.
I feel like it disappears and then comes back. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Oh, maybe. I think that is like a bookkeeping error kind of thing,
Okay.
you know?
Not intentional.
No.
Because we've been told through the years there'll never be another Hawaii Part 3 or anything like that.
Yeah, there won't be a Hawaii part another number, I don't think, to my knowledge.
No. But who knows? All right. Regardless, Variations on a Cloud is one of my most favorite songs ever. And it really, I guess it could fit on the album or it might not. I guess it's just irrelevant in the great scheme of things because it came out first and set the way. So shout out to that. Have you, Josh, ever listened to the Miracle musical stuff?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I think it's great. I mean, talented dudes.
Talented dudes. That's right. Ross, has there been any talks of doing anything along that project line again? It's kind of, I mean, it was what? Came out 11 years ago?
Yeah.
So I guess if it was going to have a new chapter, it probably would have already happened by now.
I don't know that that's a fair statement.
No, but the true statement is there's no statement of anything coming out from that.
There's no statement of any more stuff coming out. There's no statement of no more stuff coming out either.
True.
There's
Good
just
point.
no statement.
Yeah, and musicians are always writing, whether they're writing for them or writing for an album. I mean, Josh, you could probably talk to this. How many songs do you have that have never been released?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Hundreds. Thousands. So I opened up this segment with a side project of Tally Hall, and I think it's also we need to dive in because I've played every single PJ Western single on this show as they've been rolling out. And PJ Western is your side project, and it's almost like a in-character alter ego of you. Is that fair to say? Because you're wearing a wig and you're dressing different and you have like this character in Pulp Fiction sleazy vibe to you with PJ Western. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, basically it was the pandemic. I started to feel like I'd had nothing to show for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I decided to record an album in LA with all the amazing musicians who weren't on tour, who normally would be. And so we did it all live to tape. And it also, like, everything that I put on that album was stuff that Dan had passed on as a junior song. And I felt like it was for specific reasons. Like, it just kind of felt like a different vibe.
Yeah.
And once I started to group the songs together, it felt like its own thing.
Yeah, it's a really good way of putting it because all of the songs are different than Junior. Granted, you can't get too far away from it because it's you singing. Everything that you touch has a little bit of Junior in it, but I agree. It's a little more rocking. Is that fair to say, Ross?
Yeah, it's
a little more. It's got more of a 70s and 80s appeal than Junior, where Junior is like, I mean, one of those bands that I think is on the cutting edge of new sounds. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no piece of gear used in recording PJ Western was from later than 1980.
Wow.
And the musicians who played, I mean, because it was all live, we played it all, it was like 1 or 2 takes. But all the musicians are incredible, like world-renowned musicians.
Who was on the album?
Gus Seifert recorded it and played bass. He plays in Roger Waters' band.
Wow.
Josh Adams played drums. He plays with Fruit Bats and Tim Heidecker. He's playing with Jenny Lewis, I think.
Fruit Bats are kind of blowing up right now, right?
Yep.
Wait,
Yeah.
you did this on 24 track or?
24 track.
Oh,
we
cool.
actually used Jackson Brown's old Neve
cool.
console.
I'm so jealous.
And Jake Blanton played guitar and piano. He's in the Killers.
I've heard of them. Smile like you mean it, Ross.
Mm-hmm. We tried to record Good and Evil to tape. We went and we bought, and Tony was like all about doing it on tape.
Can you explain to the listeners what that means?
Oh, just that your live performance physically cuts onto a piece of
It's analog,
magnetic
right?
tape. Yeah.
It's like an old tape. And then if you edit that, do you have to cut the tape?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like all those old recordings, you had to get the greatest studio musicians ever.
It would certainly save a lot of budget if you had good studio musicians.
Well, we actually did it at the same time. So like if I messed up a lyric, everyone was pissed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you have to start over?
Right.
Wow. So if you're recording on analog, then probably you're playing the beginning of the song a lot and the end of the song very few times.
We actually did every song 3 times.
And then you pick the best version?
Yeah.
And did you mix it without any automation?
Yes.
How do you mix a tape?
Well, I mean, you like move faders up and down and like control how much reverb. No, usually like after, but now mixing consoles have like memory faders, right? So you could just like really focus on one track at a time and then go back and do the others, and it kind of remembers. But it's like the mixing used to be a much finer art of like everybody. You had multiple people who all had their part in just controlling the relative levels of things after the track's recorded, but to bounce it or like mix it down to the master like stereo.
But why in theory would you prefer analog over digital?
It sounds better.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, you can slam sound onto a tape in a way that you can't do that digitally, and it has its own entire...
Is that why Weather Report still sounds so good to this day?
That's why I like listening to tapes at home. That's why I have like my reel-to-reel collection, because it's like the exact same media that it was recorded on. It's not just like a copy of it, or it is a copy. It's not like a print of it onto a different format. It's like, hey, you got the exact same signal and everything, the exact same media.
Now, would new record labels be like, no, we're not doing analog?
I don't think that the label would have a problem with that. I think it's just generally less efficient.
Yeah, and you have to be really, really good and know you're not going to make mistakes.
Right. And if the players on the album weren't as good as they were, it wouldn't have worked.
But I guess theoretically, like if you guys weren't all in the same, you were all in the same live room.
We each were in our own live room.
Because can you punch in? Like
I did end up overdubbing.
You can
some
kind of do that,
vocals.
but you have to have stuff isolated enough going into the mics, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets really hairy.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you record it on 24 channels, you have 24. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, and then if you want to like add stuff, you could take those 24 channels, mix it down to 12, and then now you've got 12 new channels again. So like that's how the Beatles made all these really complex recordings with only 4-track at the time. They would record like the core of it and then bounce that down onto one track. Then they'd add some percussion and other like harmony vocals, bounce that down to a second track, and so you could keep building. But it's a lot of work and a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can't go back in.
Yep. Yeah. Once you bounce it down, that's it. You're locked in.
Warts and all. Has Junior done anything analog?
We have analog elements to everything we do, but no, we've always been very computer based.
I figure, and especially with Daniel in Detroit and you in LA, you guys are probably sending files back and forth.
Always.
Are you working? Now, you said you have this new album finished, mastered, ready to rock, which would mean you have a ton of songs for Junior's next album?
Yes.
Because there was a period of time, and I always like to say this, where you released like 32 songs over like a 33-month period. It was like relentlessly putting out content. It was like laughable. I'd get to my radio show and be like, another new Junior song? Do you think something like that is going to be rolling out with this next wave?
No, I mean, I think we're very focused on, like, there is an album, and it's a very specific album.
Have you released the name?
No, but I mean, I have no problem saying it's called Back to the Land, and it's all organic. There's no computer tricks, no nothing.
Nice. How many songs?
I think there's 16, but
yes,
probably be 12.
Of course there is. No. No,
12 of 4 bonus tracks.
Seriously. All right, we're going to do a song from PJ Western. I'm getting off topic. I'm going to have this song go straight into the commercial. Then when we come back after that, we're going to be talking more. But we need to catch up on what's next. This is Long Time Coming, a brand new track from PJ Western, Josh's Alter Ego. I played this last Sunday, which is rare for me to play it 2 weeks in a row, but I absolutely love this new single. Josh, I think it's your favorite on the EP.
It is. This is actually the song that inspired the side project.
No way.
Yeah, I was living in a house that Jenna and I had rented in Bronson Canyon, and it was a very 70s house. Like, one room was like all teal tile, and one room was all like deep blue tile. It was just a weird place, and I don't know why, but the first thing I wrote in that house was this.
Wow. Well, this album was a long time coming, and Junior is even longer, so we will celebrate it. This is PJ Western with Long Time Coming, brand new single, out now on Treetown Sound. That is Junior with Rip R&R off Invocations and Conversations, Ross Federman's favorite album in the last 5 years, my personal favorite, Junior's song. Maybe it's tough. I love Warzone so much. There's too many I love. I can't pick. Ross, do you have anything nice you want to say about Rip R&R?
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
It's great. I love it. I just love that there's a song written about real. You know?
Yeah, right. Ross.
It's funny because the first time I heard that was at the Tree Verb sound check.
Yes.
And I remember running up to Josh and I'm like, is your lyric? It's hard to find a tape for your reel to reel.
Right.
Yeah.
So any Tally Hall fans out there, if you're at old garage sales and you find a reel to reel, you should save it for Ross and bring it to Ann Arbor.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing, would it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could mail it to Ann Arbor's 1071 and I'll hold it for him. Just label it Ross Federman. No, you're looking at me
well,
like
then people
that.
will think it's me on the tape.
True. All right, so we're going to fit in Good Day, which is the quintessential Tally Hall song, but we have a couple minutes. I just really want to thank both of you, both of my favorite bands from Michigan. Josh, it means the world to me you came on my show. Thank you so much, and I can't wait for the new Junior album, and I will keep on playing you more than any other station ever.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Ross, thank you for coming on my show and not talking about Tally Hall's third album or anything like that.
Nope.
Love
it.
Oh, and also, Joe Hawley texted me during the show that Variations on a Cloud was a song response to Mason Proper's Lock and Key, which is Jonathan Weisger's band Abso Facto in the past. So really cool fact if you didn't know that. Definitely search it out. Ross, is there anything you want to say to Josh or Josh to Ross?
No, it's just Josh. I'm glad you made it in, man.
Yeah.
This is great.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
This is the coolest thing ever. I really just appreciate it. So we're going to close out with Good Day, which is probably a song you're sick of hearing, Ross.
I mean, I think it's probably fair to say I'm sick of hearing all.
Who wrote this song?
Andrew.
Mm-hmm. So it's good we're representing Andrew.
It is. And I will say, this was one of the first tracks that Joe sent me when he said, hey, our drummer's leaving and we need a new drummer. And I had Winamp, the old Winamp.
Oh, yeah.
And it looped the song. And just with all the weird kind of sound effects at the end and the beginning, it just kept going. I really wasn't sure. And the way the song is structured, it wasn't clear to me when it was starting and ending. I just kind of fell in love with that. And that was kind of the beginning.
Shout out to Andrew because he wrote one of the songs on the PJ Western album with me as well.
What? I didn't know that.
Which one?
It's not out yet. It's called Chasing Me Away.
No. When does that come out?
August?
Whoa. I thought originally the whole
September?
album was coming out in August.
September, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. So that's the label.
Oh, we'll be rocking that. I didn't know you. Well, it makes sense. Junior and Tally Hall are kind of brother bands.
Yeah.
Well,
cousin bands.
Cousin bands, whatever. All right, up next, Mark Copeland with Under the Radar Radio. This is Tally Hall with Good Day. Thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate your time. Greatest Treetown sound ever.